What a chapter! So, Oda came back with a bang. We were on break last week. We're not on break next week. Just want to get that out of the way. We're good. We're back with a vengeance. Almost like Saturn. Back and he's angry and he's demonic. And it's scary. Before we get to that though, that not confusing, thought-provoking chapter, let's talk about this color spread, which moved things within me that I thought were gone. And these are things that were left back from Wano, almost like a procedure that left back silly crumbs that I thought I flushed out. And these are crumbs from the Shimotsuki backstory that Zoro, we did get a bit of it, but it felt a bit flat. Yes, now we know Zoro's a Shimotsuki related to Ryuma, all that different stuff doesn't matter. Which is better, because Zoro kind of came from the mud, kinda. But showing this spread of all the Shimotsuki, and then seeing Kuina made me sad, not gonna lie. But then Ryuma, does he have red hair? What's going on? We see Ishimaru. Now we're just missing Pin Zoro. Here's what I gotta ask, though. Did we want more of this from Wano? Did this color spread trigger something within you where you're like, I wish this was more of a focus in Wano? Or you're like, we'll get some more eventually, because I don't think so. I think it's over. I think that's it. But this is basically for Monster. Monster's gonna be fantastic. I'm not sure if they're gonna try to tie it in and throw some hints in regards to things happening real time. This is great though. But this is not necessarily why you're here. Let's get to why you're here. So they show us kind of a flashback, like, hey, I know we were on break last week. Let me just tell y'all like what's been happening. Atlas giving the order to basically destroy all the ships because she's in control now. She's like, I'm the captain now. I got the power. Basically Vegapunk, I guess. Yeah. So again, the order is to eradicate all the Marines on the island. Everyone, get them all up out of here because we gotta go. We gotta get out of this spot. Well, everyone heard it. And so other people had to make a move because then all the Marines would get eradicated. And of course, some Marines jumped into action. The Marines, as we expected, are the Vice Admirals, the highly touted, highly respected Vice Admirals that we all know and love. We're Smoker. The pacifists don't hesitate. They get an order and they right away. It takes no time whatsoever, and they were already in action, blowing up Marines, but Vice Admirals were there to somewhat slow them down. I mean, the pacifists, for the most part, they're not just the most overpowered antagonists. But when you have 500 of them, it becomes a problem. Even in the panel, there's a Marine just sitting there. He has his gun and he's like, God damn it, what did I get myself into? Like, I came to help these things and now these things are turning on me. Like, it's scary considering just how much these people, the powers that be, affect the people at the bottom. And it's happening within the Marines as well, and it happens within society. I'm gonna go somewhere with this at the end in regards to Saint J and how everything and the decisions of the Celestial Dragons and the Gorosei affect the people below, but it happens everywhere. Like even for Luffy, or rather Kid. Kid has a large crew. For a lot of people, they don't know Kid's crew, right? And crazy segue. But Kid has a large crew, hip hop. You have all these different people on the Kid's crew, and he made the decision to go and attack Shanks, even though he was at a disadvantage. Hip and Hop can't control that. They're just there just to be Hip and Hop. And all of a sudden now they're at the bottom of the ocean with Kid because he can't control his temper. You see what I'm saying? Like how fodder, or rather subordinates, get affected by the people, the powers that be. It's crazy. Either way, the pacifists are going in. But the thing is, they're not only getting attacked by pacifista. No, they're getting attacked by Bonnie as well. Bonnie has an attack called Near-Death Experience, NDE, where it almost turns them into Brook, show them what it's like to be dead, then it just pass out from the sheer shock of it. That would happen to a lot of us. If somebody showed you your death right in front of you, come on. I'm like, all right, you know what? Maybe being a Marine wasn't for me. I'm gonna go be a carpenter like I planned to. I'm out of here. So Bonnie, of course, at the bottom, she's still there trying to fend off all these other Marines. Sanji, right? Sanji with his amazing, I want to say female observation, his observation haki to sense women. It is unparalleled. There is no type of sensing like it. On an island, put Sanji there, named a woman, he will find her. And he's like, found her. They're like, wait, what? Already? Even Vegapunk was like, I don't know if there's any science behind this, but I believe you. Oda used a very interesting way of trauma in this chapter because after Bonnie got away from some of the pacifists, she ran into another one. And then she's trying to figure out, okay, how is this happening? Because one of the pacifists was being ridden by Suru's cousin. Okay, I don't know if it's Suru's cousin, but Navy HQ Vice Admiral Bluegrass, and she has a stick fruit, which she can turn Kuma into a stick shift, and she can drive him or ride him whenever she wants to. Yeah, or drive a human or ride fruit. She can ride anyone. She has a license to ride. Like that's what she does. If she wants to ride anybody, it can happen. That's why she can control the pacifista, even though the pacifista were ordered or programmed to go against the Marines. I don't make the rules here. She's riding. But again, Oda's use of trauma in this chapter is basically by having Bonnie see Bluegrass ride Kuma. Remember the last time she saw someone ride Kuma was in Mary Joa. And so it's like, it triggered something in her because she's like, yo, dad, you know, and it's interesting. Oda's just throwing things at Bonnie. It's a lot he's throwing at Bonnie. Like Bonnie saw Kuma's memories, which will come into play at the end of the chapter. But I'm like, Oda's cruel. Oda's being extremely cruel to Bonnie. It's almost like this is Bonnie's story right now. Like everything we're doing, we're following Bonnie. We're trying to protect Bonnie. We're trying to save Bonnie. It's what is going to be the climax. And I'm 100% sure it's going to involve Bonnie somehow, in some way. And don't forget, y'all, don't forget, Kuma just got left Mary Joa after being somewhat decapitated and lobotomized by the boy Akainu. So he's coming there with half a head and no foot, or 1 foot. And so he's going to show up here more than likely. And we're going to have the big culmination in regards to memories, all that different stuff. And then I think we're going to get the true end of the arc, but we're still building up to it. And boy, was it a build up. Oh my God, it's one of those. That whole sequence, basically she's saved by Sanji. Then we move on to the Labo Stratum. And the Labo Stratum, you know what's going on. Luffy versus Kizaru part 10. And okay, this fight has drummed up a lot of conversation. Of course, Admiral versus Yonko. I've kind of bowed out of it just because I feel like it's pointless because I've made my stance clear. And for the most part, I won, right? Like just everything that's transpired has proven that the Admirals can fight against the Yonko. There's no point in arguing specifics anymore. It's stupid. Because even in this chapter and the sequence of chapters, I realize I can't care more than Oda in regards to this. And I feel like I've been caring more than Oda because Oda doesn't care about this shit. Like he cares enough to have them fight against each other for a period of time. As much as we're drilling down into it, it's like Oda's making a joke of this for the most part. We should too. And that's what happened in this chapter. We'll get to it. Here's a cool thing though. Kizaru's talking to Luffy saying, yo, I can't keep doing this or playing around with you. I got a job to do. And Luffy's like, well, that's my job. Where Luffy's doing his job, Kizaru, and his job is to stop Kizaru from doing his. And Kizaru being the job man, like the cog that he is, he's like, come on, man, you gotta cut me some slack here. And Luffy, I mean, he's doing his job, i.e. he's winning this bout, considering that Kizaru can't decapitate or kill Vegapunk, which, I mean, I think Vegapunk dies. It's just gonna take a while to get there. And so Luffy's doing his thing. Now Kizaru in the midst of it, he's like, all right, I'm done. I'm gone. And Luffy like takes off after him, right? It's like really just a game of chicken. They're just going back and forth, cat and mouse, if you want to call it that, because Kizaru is more focused on taking out Vegapunk, and doing that while holding off Luffy, it's a lot. In the midst of this, I'm like, okay, what's gonna happen now? Luffy's chasing after Kizaru. Kizaru's like, Luffy's like, what? Zoro, and even Lucci is like, wait, what's going on? And I'm like, wait, okay, somebody just got here. Either somebody just got here or something is moving, right? Something was moving. What made me scared though? Like legit, what scared me was Jinbei saying, what is this ominous presence? Jinbei's been in the presence of Big Mom, Kaido, the worst of the worst, Blackbeard, and everybody felt it. We'll talk about if this was the presence that Luffy felt at the beginning before he encountered Kizaru. Actually, I'll address it now. It's not, because this is not necessarily a strength thing, because I don't think this guy is stronger than Kaido, not stronger than Big Mom, but his presence, what he is something else, okay? This guy bellows throughout Egghead, pacifistas, cease immediately. Okay, who the f was that? It was like how it's drawn and the silhouette and how it seems like everything stopped. It was like, whoa, this is a moment in the story, a moment in One Piece that is unlike any other that we've ever seen, right? And I'm taking it all in, absorbing it. So, of course, they're stunned, like, wow, the pacifists aren't protecting us anymore. Like, we have the highest authority. Only the Gorosei. Oh, the Gorosei. We're like the 5 elders. We know Garcia was on the ship. I'm like, is another one here? Here comes a magic circle. Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, because that's the best one. Transmutation circle. And here comes, the Marine confirms it. A magic circle? 5 pentagrams. What is going on? Vegapunk, the man of science, saying, yo, this is peculiar. We should get the hell out of here. And they skedaddle. Now, they're telling the Marines, okay, Saint Garcia is about to make landfall. Like he's a ship. Like he's an ancient weapon. He's about to make landfall. Get out. Leave. Get out of here. Don't look at him. Don't look at him. They specify any Marine below the rank of Commodore. You are ordered to avert your eyes or transgressions will not be forgiven, meaning you're gonna die if you look at him. Well, of course some Marines don't listen, particularly one. And now we see the transmutation circle. Something's coming out of it, right? And the same Marine, like there's a Marine there that's saying, oh, magic circle. And his buddy's like, yo, we shouldn't see this. He might just, boom. Looks like he loses his head. Should have went for the head. Well, Garcia did. And I don't know if because of, I'll mention what I think he is, took his soul, but it's something that's inherent to this beast. Let's continue. We see this form, obviously awakened because Oda's using the sash now, I think, as an awakened indicator. Garcia with 8 legs, we're assuming, like a spider, devil fruit markings on his knees, cane, claws. I can't remember the last time I came to the surface. Whoa. Saint J. Garcia is here. An ominous presence is him. But why does he have a cane? He has 8 legs now. Just, you don't need it anymore. Like, either way. In the midst of all this, right, Kizaru's still moving. Like, he's still trying to take them out. He tried to take them out going up top when he went for the clouds. He's like, okay, almost got you. Then he tries to attack them with his laser from the top, from above. It's somewhat unclear what Luffy did here, but it seems like Kizaru attacked him. Luffy was able to redirect the attack, then come back with a counter blow and punch Kizaru square in his head. Again, this fight is hard to classify in regards to Yonko and Admiral, considering that Kizaru's not trying to fight Luffy and Luffy just chasing him. And so it looks like Kizaru goes wide-eyed. But let's be clear, Kizaru's not done. This is just a way to, it's almost like an intermission because Luffy's out of stamina. He's at his limit, and Luffy's not done either. Even though he's at his limit, we saw before, even though when he's in gear 5, he can go right back into it, but it's buying him time, it's buying the time for Garcia to have his moment. So it's buying time from this. Let's be honest, this fight has been mediocre. It's been mediocre. It hasn't been the best. It's been mediocre. And for the most part, Kizaru's out in regards to an intermission, not knocked out because that's stupid. But Luffy, he's run out of stamina, which, as I've stated before, made it short, and people are saying, what do you mean Gear 5 doesn't have stamina? Shut up. Now you look stupid. Now you're going to try to justify the reasons why Luffy's running out of stamina. He has a stamina issue with Gear 5. Yes, he can go right back into it, but we don't know the ramifications of such, and there has to be drawbacks. You can't just go back into something that's draining your stamina that quickly without ramifications, and I don't know if we're going to see them rear their ugly head right here, but he has stamina issues in that form. Stupid. So temporarily, Luffy and Kizaru are out. They're not there anymore. Now the focus is on Saint J. Garcia, whatever he is. Here's what people are saying. People are calling Saint J. Garcia an Ushi Oni, a yokai, which more than likely means he's a mythical Zoan. But here's the crazy part. Oda introduced Jay before, gave his name. We've seen him several times. Oda reintroduces this guy in his new form, but just gives his name again. No devil fruit, no classification, just a name. Now, more than likely this guy is a devil fruit, but we know these guys have been alive for a long time. Is it a devil fruit? There's no other user that's gotten this response from top tiers or strong people. Jinbei was like, what is this ominous? He's seen Kaido, not strength, presence, and he came from a transmutation circle. What are we watching? I'm a bit scared, not gonna lie, a bit perturbed, but they're calling him an Ushi Oni, ox demon. The Ushi Oni is a class of monster that lives near water, okay? The name literally means ox demon. It refers to a member of different species or different monsters with bovine traits. Many variations are known to exist, but it has the body of an ox with the head of an Oni, or the head of an ox or a body like a spider. Despite their unique and varied morphology, all Ushi Oni share a number of characteristics, pointing to a common origin. They're exceedingly cruel and savage. Okay, now, cruel and savage. He pulls up, he says, yo, Vegapunk, you still alive, you still kicking, old man. They ain't kill you yet, they ain't kill you yet. Which means that he wants Vegapunk dead because, well, Vegapunk is in his way and he's kind of holding up the plan, the process. But in the midst of it, Bonnie, going back to Kuma's memories, seems like she's reliving, right? Rehashing those memories. And now she grabs a blade, goes and stabs Saint J. Now, in this moment, it matters not because more than likely, because one of the traits or the characteristics of the Ushi Oni is that, well, it can heal. But I'm not convinced this Ushi Oni is necessarily a devil fruit. Sabo, back then at the Reverie, he said he experienced, for the most part, hell. I think we got to start having conversations in regards to what Imu is. And I got to give Sabo some more credit. That video will be coming because Sabo deserves it considering where he was. But Saint J. Garcia is here. He's in a random form that we've never really seen. You would assume like 90% chance it's a mythical Zoan fruit. There's a 10% chance to something else. Something I want to point out, back then when Brook got sent from Kuma, sent flying to where he got sent flying to, we had people summoning something using black magic and a transmutation circle. Of course, Brook was sent exactly there and they thought that Brook was the thing they summoned, but in actuality, reality, Brook got sent flying from Kuma after the Sabaody stuff, which means black magic, transmutation circles are something that exists in One Piece. In the midst of them using Brook or seeing Brook or Brook being transported, they were basically saying that they would give their life, their soul for power. This didn't happen, of course, it was a gag. Brook was showing up and now they're like, oh wow, we succeeded? But they had to get that information from somewhere. This was Oda talking to us, telling us this is a thing, this exists. Don't write it off, y'all. I know I sound crazy, but I don't think, I'm not 100% convinced this is just a devil fruit user. The presence is different. How he showed up is different. The ear is different. He's different. He's different. We'll talk about it more, I promise.